Hello, welcome to this video, and I welcome you to the Book Design Academy again. My name is Precious, and you can call me the Gracified. So, very quickly in this video, I want to show you how you can use your mobile phone to add your ruler guide or your grid lines or your margin, whichever one you call it, using your mobile phone. For those who have been using their mobile phone to design their interior, perhaps you don't have a PC yet, and at the same time you want to or you have been using your phone for your interior design, and you have been finding it hard to have your ruler guide. This may not be you using this for Amazon KDP. Perhaps you need it for something else. But so long you are using Canva and you are finding it hard to use your ruler guide or to add your margin using your mobile phone, so you want to stick to the end of this video, because I'm going to walk you through how you can set this up easy peasy without any trouble at all. So for those doing Amazon KDP, I'm actually going to be breaking this down by using different trim sizes. Okay, because the method and everything I'm going to be teaching you is not a one size fits all, and so I'll be practicalizing this using different trim sizes, so that I know whichever trim size you are using, I will use like three trim sizes, so that the common ones, so that whichever one you use, you can actually go ahead and just pick what I do, you know, and do exact same thing when you are working. All right. So without much talk, let's go straight into it. So the very first thing you know that is to open your document. So I'll click on this. You see this small plus sign at the bottom of my phone, of my toolbar here, somewhere around there. Right. So you click on that. So that's where you will find your, and then you come down here to your down left and click on that very first one. So the first thing you're going to do is change this to units. This unit, you change it to inches. It's on pixel by default, so you change it to IN, which is inches. So this is specifically for those doing KDP, Amazon KDP publishers, or you are doing this for any other platform where you want to publish your print on demand books. So if it's basically for ebooks, yeah, you may actually need it for ebook too. So if you are using it for book majorly, or irrespective of anything you want to do, and you want to maintain your margin, you want to maintain your work area, so that if eventually you want to print that kind of document, it doesn't go outside margin. Okay, so just stick around and let me show you what you need to do. So you have to change these units to inches, as I've said. So right in here, you input the dimension of the book of the document. All right. So for those doing KDP, what you need to do is input your Amazon KDP dimension, whichever one you are using. So the very first one I will be showing you is 8.5 by 11. So I'm just going to be using the common ones by 11. If you are designing your book with what's it called, with Canva, and you are going to submit it on any publishing platform for printing, okay, so you know that you should add your bleed, and I've talked about bleed and no bleed. You can check my channel here. You're going to see video on where I talk, just this video showing at the top right now. You will see the um video now where I talked about how you can set up your bleed and no bleed. Everything you need to know about bleed and no bleed has already been explained in that video. So you want to go right there and check it out after watching this video. All right. So let's continue. You must have added your bleed settings. So, but I'm not going to be adding it here. I'm just going to be using the default settings. So after that, you click on new designs, and the canvas, which is your design interface or your writing interface, whichever one you're using it for, will be open for you. All right, so now it's open. So the next thing you're going to do now is to come to the top right here where it says file. All right, so you click on it, and you click on settings. All right, so you click on settings, So after that, you see all this list. So what we are particular about, so you should turn this on majorly. So this is your show margin and print bleed. You should turn it on, especially if you are using it for printed books. So you turn that on, and then what we are actually here to do is this add guide, this ruler guide, this. So you have to click on that. So then you have this. Now you can see that the margins have popped up. All right. So now you come here to where it says custom. So we want to set our own. We're actually not using 12 columns. We are not using 3, which are the default one they have put here, the presets, but we are not going with that. So we click on custom. So now our trim size we are dealing with here is 8.5 by 11 by 8.5 by 11, all right, inches. So for this, your margin actually, or your ruler guide, is actually into two segments, the vertical and the horizontal. Okay, so for the vertical margin, that's the straight one, which is exactly what you are seeing on my screen now. Okay, so that one we actually set it here under columns. Okay, you can see that we have two sections here. We have columns and we have rows. So our column actually represents our vertical margins, which is your straight line margin. Okay, so now here where it says column, you can see here we have column, we have gaps, and we have margin. So these are the settings you are going to put inside, and you have a perfect margin for you to start working on. So on your column, put 2. So you come to gap and put 6.3. You can see that it's adjusting already. And here in your margin, you put 0.85. Okay, so we are done setting this. So the next one you want to do, okay, 0.85. So now you see that it's well adjusted. So we are done with the vertical margins, the vertical ruler guide. Okay, so the next one is to come down here and click on row. Sorry, click on row. Phone is quite not easy to navigate sometimes. So you click on row here. All right, so we are going to set up this also. So for your row, you're going to put 2, exactly the same way we did. So because we only need 2 on. In my mentorship group, I taught my students how you can, set all these things up. Though we use 3 for a particular reason, though. So if you are my student and you are watching this, don't be confused. All right, so you know what to do already. So why we actually set 3 for the horizontal margin, okay, you know better. So for the gap, you have to put 8.5, and for the margin, you put 0.85. Okay, so once you click out, you see that everything is well set. You just click on done. So now this is your working area. So you may want to ask me that what's the essence of setting this up, in case you are new to this thing. All right, so the essence of you setting this up is to maintain a clean working area where you can actually put in all your text, all your elements, anything you want to design. You can actually put it in there and be so sure that if eventually you want to print that kind of document, by the time they are trimming or they are cutting some parts of the essential parts, or the design or any element or text is not going to be cut out. All right, so this are actually the reason behind setting up this ruler guide, which is for you to maintain the area that you're going to work, or put your element and text on, and maintain everything eventually. So this actually, for those that are just doing ebook, we also help you to maintain a very clean area, and eventually your layout, everything will look clean, and your document will look so attractive inside. Okay, so you can just set this up, and that's that, and then you'll be good. So for the next trim size, I want to teach you. So let's just click the top right here, click on create design. Let me just set up another one, custom size. Change this to inches. All right, so my width, I'll be going with 6 by 9 now. All right, 6 by 9 inches. If you are designing for KDP or for print on demand, for books that are going to be printed. Okay, so make sure you had your bleed settings. As I've said, go ahead to my channel and check other videos about bleed and no bleed, so you can watch that and get to know what I mean by bleed and no bleed. All right, so you have to add the inches to the default, which is 6 by 9, or whichever trim size you are using. Okay, so now the the initial thing we did, top right, go to file, click on settings, and click on add guide. So and click on custom. So for the column here, you're going to put 2. 2 is actually the default for our vertical margins, irrespective of the trim size you're working on. And for the gap, you put 4.4. Okay. For the margin, you put 0.6. And once you click out, you see that that's well set. So you come to row, which is the next thing. So for this, you put 2. I said initially for my students, you know why we use 3. So we actually use 3 for this. So you use 7.2 for your gap, and 0.6 also for your margins, and voila, we have it. So this is your working area for 6 by 9. So you may want to check that. Let me go back again so you can just write down the settings. Okay, 2, 4.4, 0.6. That's for your column. And for your row, 2, 7.2, 0.6. If you missed out of 8.5, you can just backward this video, you watch all over again to get that. So lastly, let me show you using another trim size, which is a very common trim size among KDP publishers, which is 5.5 by 8.5. Okay, so 5.5 by 8.5, sorry, 8.5. So I'll click on create design. Okay, so the usual, top right, go to file, click on settings, and click on add guide. So come to custom. So our vertical margin, this is always 2 by default. Okay, and our gap will be 4. Our margin will be 0.55. So you can just write it down now. Can you see it now? 2, 4, 0.55. Okay, so then we move to our horizontal, which is our row. Here you put 2. If you're my student, you're using 3 here, So here you have 6.7, and here you have 0.55. Once you click out, you have your working area. Boom. And that is that about setting up your margin or your ruler guide using your mobile phone. If you are going to do this on PC, it's exactly the same thing, but the joy in using PC is that you don't have to be setting all these dimensions. You can just use your hand. Once you toggle on the ruler guide, you can just use your mouse to drag the margin and put it exactly where you want it to be. Okay, just gauging with your eyes. You don't have to be putting dimensions and inches as we did on phone. But for those that are using their mobile phone to do their interior designs for their KDP or whatever it is you need it for, all right. So that's why I had to record this video and show you the exact thing you need to do. Okay, so if there are any other information, you have a question, just go straight to the comment section and drop it, and I'll be right there to answer your question. I hope this video has helped you out and it has blessed you. So if so, please do well to like this video, share it with your friends, share it in all the KDP communities where you belong to, and do well to subscribe to this channel if you are yet to. Until next time, I remain my humble self, the Gracified. See you in other videos. Bye.